Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello and welcome everybody in the psychiatry group. It's really a pleasure and honor to be here with you in this program. And my topic today is about mindfulness as a basic concept in current psychotherapy. And all of you know that mindfulness is gaining every day a wider area and more importance in the field of psychotherapy and psychiatry. And also it is gaining more time, more importance in the life of ordinary people outside the clinical setting. And it will be important to give a definition about mindfulness firstly. And we will refer here to John Kabat-Zinn, who is a pioneer in this field of introducing mindfulness into the clinical setting. He defines mindfulness as paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment and non-judgmentally. And as you can see, this is very condensed definition, very brief, very concise, and informative, but it needs to be elaborated more and more too, because of the that the terminology used in mindfulness is some sort of new and novel. So I will give some elaboration for it so as to be understandable. So it says paying attention in a particular way on purpose, and on purpose is a key word here, because our attention in everyday life is not deliberate enough, is not on purpose enough. It is something like spontaneous or automatic. We tend to be attracted by every external stimuli which appears or occurs around us, and every internal impulse or internal idea or emotion. So we are not attentive deliberately or willingly. So mindfulness is characterized by this kind of purposelessness, and the other key word is the present moment. And the present moment is the real time we have. It is the time between what will come and what has gone. And it is considered in the mindfulness sciences as crucial concept, and it is about the here and now, the current experience, the things in hand we have. So it is very important to be known, be concentrated on, and worked on. The third key word is non-judgmental. And here we can remember that in our everyday life we are not dealing with things as with fresh vision or fresh ideation. All the time we are bringing with us all the past experiences and pains and suffering and disappointments and everything like that to go into the present experience and present events. So all this will lead us to give judgmentations about these events, and this is really will lead to some sort of bias and some sort of negativity towards the world. So as you can see, mindfulness deals with a basic construct in the mind, which is the self. The self, not the ego. Self is considered as center of the mind. So we need to be more identified with this kind of self, and disidentified with other elements of the mind, like ideas, like emotions, like desires, like impulses, like everything else, and also disidentified with the outside relationships and so forth. And this will give us some sort of gap between us and the world that can give us a chance to have a better look and better vision for the world. As I said, mindfulness has been all the time getting more area and more into the clinical setting. And this has been accompanied by a lot of research in the neurological field and so forth. And this perspective, there have been a lot of discoveries. One of them is that we do have two separate, distinctive pathways in our mind or in our brain. One of them is some sort of consciousness that is dealing with the ruminative, judgmental, reflective, and self-knowledge that brings all the stories about the self and brings also evaluation to the world. And this is related to midline structures of the prefrontal cortex. And it gives us a kind of evaluative perspective, conceptual perspective to the world and to the self. The other pathway is more related to the limbic system and the insula, the thalamus, and the primary sensory region. And this is not related to any kind of previous story or to coming anticipations in the future. It is related to the current direct experience we have. So it is related to the direct sensations to be attentive to. And these two pathways are going in an unbalanced way. We are more biased, more some sort of prepared to think in the first manner than the other. We are always going into ruminations, into memories, into worries, into anxieties, dwelling and some sort of indulging between the past and the future. And this leads to a lot of problems in our mind that vary from depression to anxiety and so forth. We are not concentrating in the present moment and not using the non-conceptual awareness of ourselves, non-judgmental awareness of ourselves. So, in mindfulness, we are going to rebalance our mind to pay more attention to the here and now and to the direct experience we have in the world and in our own selves. And I want to give some history of for the evolution of mindfulness. As you can remember that mindfulness is related to Buddhism, Buddhist religion, and specifically to the history of Vipassana meditation. And lately, in the history of Buddhism, there appeared a school or a discipline called Zen Buddhism that was originated in China. And Zen Buddhism in the 50s and the 60s have been introduced to psychotherapy. So it prepared a lot of ground for main step taken by John Kabat-Zinn to introduce mindfulness into the psychotherapy. And this has been in the year of year 1979. And his main work was mindfulness based stress reduction. And it was the first experience or first school of mindfulness based psychotherapies. And lately other interventions have been introduced, like dialectical behavioral therapy, like acceptance and commitment based therapy, and like mindfulness based cognitive therapy. So I want to give a glance to every one of these interventions, and it is very relevant to start with mindfulness-based stress reduction by John Kabat-Zinn. And this, as I said earlier, it emerged in the year 1979, and by now it is the most researched intervention till now. It involves 8 weeks psychoeducation, 40 minutes and 6 times per week. Some sort of sessions, 40 minutes and repeated 6 times per week. It uses mindfulness in 2 forms. One is mindful meditation, and the other is mindfulness in every kind of everyday activities. Everything you do, you can do with mindfulness. And this will lead to more balancing of the mind, more focusing on the here and now, more liberation from the trap of the mind, the trap of the indole of the past and the future. So getting rid of a lot of results of the stress. And mindfulness-based stress reduction to work well with any disorders that is related to stress. And for example, it's anxiety and depression. But the main work of John Kabat-Zinn was about the chronic pain, stress-related or stress-associated chronic pain. And he uses a lot of techniques in this thing. It uses some sort of mindful sitting, also body scanning, in which you do some awareness and concentration on the body feelings and body parts, and some sort of scanning it, like you are rediscovering your body, feeling it again, feeling it freshly. So this will liberate the brain from the judgmental, evaluative, conceptual network of the brain. Also, he uses yoga, and as I said, he uses mindfulness in any everyday activity or experience. And it showed a lot of positive outcomes, like in chronic pain, like anxiety, fibromyalgia, psoriasis, binge eating, depression, cancer, and immune function disorders. We then go to the second school or second intervention, which is mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. And here we have a work that is based on John Kabat-Zinn's work, mindfulness-based stress reduction. And this has been done by Zindel, Siegel, and William, Mark William and John Tisdale. It also, like the mindfulness-based stress reduction, it involved 8-week group of sessions, and it uses also cognitive processes and cognitive behavioral tools. It aims at reducing the risk of depressive relapse. Its very special way of dealing with depression is that it doesn't go with the traditional direction of getting rid of depression. It doesn't do that. It tries to teach the client how to have new relation with the depression. Depression is accepted, is taken as something actual, real, and the patient is liberating himself from all the consequences of depression, these negative consequences of depression regarding feeling, regarding thinking, regarding behavior. So the patient is disidentified from depression, is liberated from it, is detaching himself from depression. The third school or set intervention is acceptance and commitment-based therapy. And this is a very important therapy that targets at increasing the patient's psychological flexibility. That is the ability to go from moment to moment without taking all the weights from the past to the present moment. You some sort of be a new existence, new person every time and then every moment you are new, you are fresh, you are disidentified from all your past experiences, also, or you may say past selves. It uses a variety of techniques like mindfulness and so forth. Acceptance and commitment-based therapy has 6 core principles. They are diffusion, acceptance, contact with reality, contact with present moment. I mean, observing the self, or it is also called self as context. The 5th is values, and the 6th is action. I will give some words about all of these, and let's talk about diffusion. Diffusion is simply having that kind of a space or gap between us and our all objects of consciousness, whether internal or external. My feelings are not me, I am not my feelings, I am not my depression, I am not my ambitions. I am something different than everything I am experiencing. So, by giving this space, you are more liberated from all the pains or all the sufferings that you may have. The second is acceptance. Acceptance means taking the world as granted, as something real, something given. You don't judge it, you don't say judgmentation about it, you don't try to resist it or get rid of it or object it. You try to make yourself go with the flow of life as it goes, and non-judgment. And this is goes in relation with the 3rd core principle, which is the contact with present moment. In mindfulness, specifically in the acceptance and commitment-based therapy, we are targeting to get more involved in the present moment, in the actual experience we are handling, and to detach ourselves from all the memories or all the future worries and anxieties. We are here and now, we are acting about something that we are having some belief in, having some motivation towards. So the self is liberated and some sort of detached from every negative consequences of depression or of anxiety or so forth. The 4th concept is observing the self, or the self as context. Here we are meaning that the self is not its objects. It is not what happens to it. I am a doctor, yes, but being doctor is something which I own, but I'm not totally identified with it. I'm not identified with all my ideas or desires or fears or anxieties, or everything that happens and occurs in the field of my own self, whether externally or internally. The self is liberated, self is disidentified, is separate from everything that happens to it. So this gives us more confidence in ourselves, more feeling of safety and security. Because this is me and that's my pain. So I'm not obliged or I'm not forced to get suffering from my pain. My pain is something other than me. So this is something which can be said about observing self or self as context. The 5th core principle is values. And values are things that are different than goals. We are all the time obsessed about having goals, having salaries, good salaries, having beautiful car, and so forth. These goals are in some way owning us, governing us, making us suffer and suffer to achieve them and to perceive them and to perpetuate them and keep them with time. We are after we achieve anything, we are worried about losing it. So these are goals. But about values are things which are fixed and perpetuated, not ending in any time. Success is something that can go with you for a long time without any conditioning with the shapes it takes. You can be successful even without you don't have any specific kind of success. The sixth core principle is action. In mindfulness related to acceptance and commitment therapy, we are dealing more with acceptance, with action, and which is a positive position towards the world, doing, not ruminating, doing, not just thinking. So by being attached to action, we are more liberated from the ruminations and obsessions about the future and what should be happening in the present or the future. The last one of the interventions of the mindfulness related psychotherapies is dialectical behavioral therapy. And dialectical behavioral therapy is known for all of you is the intervention that is special for borderline personality disorder and related disorders such as deliberate self-harm and suicidality. And mindfulness is used in this field in addition to other three principles or modules. We have mindfulness, we have interpersonal effectiveness. Also we have emotion regulation, and we have distress tolerance. I think it is enough to go to this extent, and maybe this will make some introduction that may prepare for more discussion from you in this group. Again, I thank you very much for the chance, and thank Dr. Abdulazim for the very creative initiative. And thank you. Thank you.